Hey y'all, Matt Fouch here on the couch with Fouch, and one of the sponsors of today's interview video is Christian Healthcare Ministries. Now, just a few years ago when my family got the notification in the mail from Blue Cross and Blue Shield that our premium was going to at least double, we knew we had to make a change. So we started looking at other opportunities. One of the things we came across was Christian Healthcare Ministries. Now, this organization is a great alternative to health insurance. We found out that we could save a ton of money by switching, and in reality, we actually had better coverage options with this organization. So call them today, 800-791-6225, and tell them that Matt Fouch and the On the Couch with Fouch interview series sent you to get the information so that they will continue to support Southern gospel music and this interview series that you love to watch. Call them today, 800-791-6225, and tell them that Matt Fouch sent you. Guys, have a great day and enjoy the interview. Hey guys, and welcome back to On the Couch with Fouch. This is the interview series with your favorite gospel music artist. This is a subset, if you will, another part of this series. It's called the Spotlight Series. And what we're trying to do with this series is we're introducing you all to some of the artists that maybe you've never met before. Maybe you've heard them a time or two, a song here or there, but you've never had the chance to get to know them. So what we're doing in this series is we're introducing you to some new groups. And today we have the great opportunity to introduce you guys to a group called the Chandlers. Guys, thank you so much for being here.
Our privilege. Thank you for inviting us.
We are at National Quartet Convention, and right here on the side, if you've never been to National Quartet Convention, you got to come. You got to come see
absolutely.
us. All of your favorite groups are here. It's in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, so you can go to Dollywood, you can catch a show, plenty of great places to eat. Come to National Quartet Convention, go to Google, type in NQC, National Quartet Convention. You can get all the info you need to be here.
Right.
And secondly, I've got to say before we start, we had to punt on the location and the couch. We got a great couch, but we're at Joseph Habedank's booth, and so we've got his backdrop here. It is what it is. You got at NQC. You got to be
It's still a
flexible.
couch.
You're right. So we're still with Fouch on the couch.
There you go.
But thanks to Joseph Habedank for letting us use his couch and booth for this interview. Guys, how many years have you been coming to NQC?
This is our 5th year to come to NQC.
Okay.
And we went 1 year in Louisville and then had to take a couple years off because of some health situations. And then we've been back here for, 4 years?
I think so.
Yeah. Tell these guys about the group. Who's in the group, the names of everybody, how long you've been traveling and singing. Do you do it full time? Do you do it part time? How many dates do you do? All those questions
All
that
of that,
people
man.
always,
See if I can remember all those
yeah,
questions.
try to get it all in there, man.
The Chandlers travel full time from our home in Greenfield, Tennessee.
Okay.
And it's in Northwest Tennessee. And it consists of myself, my wife, Lana. My name is Tim. And we have 2 daughters. Tiffany is 22, Lindsay is 17. And we travel full-time, about 135, 150 dates a year, and enjoy doing it, love it. My wife and I have sung ever since we were married, so it's almost 27 years now. She
cool.
came from a singing group family, the Jellisons, that also traveled full-time. So she's been on stages and platforms ever since she was 3.5 years old.
Wow.
Recorded her first recording at 5.
Wow.
And so it's just been a lifetime of singing
It's
music.
my oldest son is 6.
Oh.
There is no way he's doing a recording at 6. How in the world did you do one at 5? That's
Well,
amazing.
My mom and dad had sang since they met, and they had like quartet and trios, different things. And then me and my sister were the featured guest on their couple albums, and we were 3 and 5. And of course, we were both singing lead at the same time, both singing the same part. The next album, we were 5 and 7, and my sister was singing harmony with me. So we've just done it. We've just always done it.
It's always done. It just came natural.
It did.
My wife and I are singers. Obviously, me with
Yeah.
Legacy 5. And a lot of people don't know that my wife sings as well. She has a degree in music, actually.
Oh,
And we sing all over the house and playing music all the time. But so far, the 6-year-old hasn't picked up on the singing thing just yet. So I can't imagine what a CD would sound like with him singing. But if you did it, and that's
I
awesome.
did. I don't know how good it was, but I did.
Why are you guys doing gospel music? What is it about this music that makes you guys leave the house every weekend and go out and tell people about the Lord with this particular style of music?
It may sound a little cliche, but it really is the ministry that we see in our concerts every night. It's singing a song, ministering a song, and seeing somebody be able to respond to that, to those words, to that tune, and you realize that you're really helping somebody to make it through their day.
Yeah, I remember growing up singing in church. We had a little church quartet, and I can remember times up there singing, and you're looking out at the crowd. You can just see when you're singing the expression on someone's face or a look in their eyes. You can tell when you're looking at them if they're getting it, if God's speaking to them through that song. And you can typically look and say, that person needs this. And I remember as a teenager, when I saw that, like, I locked in. Like, I was like, I'm singing to you.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
And at the church I grew up in, there was people would come to the altar during the singing or during the preaching or whatever. And it would be neat when you're sitting there and you lock in and that person responds and they stand up, they walk down the aisle to the altar, and they start praying, whether for salvation or for a need.
Right.
What has been your favorite moment? You know, I shared kind of a moment there for me.
Yeah.
What has been your favorite moment when you're on stage singing and something like that or something totally different has happened? What would that be?
I would think for me, and I guess for our whole family, would be we minister a lot. Of course, Tim's a preacher. I'm a speaker. The girls also speak, and so like you said, when I'm up on the platform, I'm scanning the crowd while I'm singing, and I'm looking for those that God's dealing with. And like you say, you kind of hone in on them, and I'm like, okay, that's the one I'm after right there. And I was delivered from an emotional stress issue about 14 years ago. And, you know, I've always been in church. I've always lived for God. So I don't have the deliverance from the world, as you would call it, you know, because I was never bound by that. But I was bound emotionally. And I had a lot of stress going on because of a situation that had happened in our lives. And God delivered me of that. And when he did, I had went down to the altar, I prayed, I put my stress in my hands, dumped it out, and I was immediately delivered. So we call it the dump. And we do the dump in our services. And I wrote a song called My Last Tear. It's called I've Cried My Last Tear Over You, telling the enemy, you know, you thought you had me, but you don't.
Yeah,
and
that's cool.
So when we've sang that song, and people will come to the altar, and we do a deliverance service, and we'll have them. We're going to count to 3, and you're going to dump that whatever's binding you. And I think the one that stands out the most was in Texas one time, and a lady on the front row, I went down and prayed with her, laid hands on her, began to pray with her, and I actually saw her face change.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just the expression on her face, and I talked to her afterwards, and she's like, "Yeah," she said, "God delivered me."
That's cool.
You know, and that was one of the greatest moments.
Yeah.
To know that what I went through, and because I survived it, it helped somebody else get deliverance.
So cool.
So that was awesome.
That's awesome. You're right. Awesome is a good word for that. In just a moment, we're going to transition. We're going to have your daughters come over here and sit down and answer some questions for you guys, and they get to meet them.
Yes.
But before they come over here, what is it like having your kids on stage with you, sharing in moments like what you just shared with us?
Incredible. That's my word for it.
Incredible, awesome. You know, to see, you know, the ministry that God has given to us and get transferred to them, and they get it, and they own that part of, you know, whatever they're doing, singing, talking, whatever. You know, God has blessed us with two wonderful children,
Yes.
and they are a part of the ministry, and it's just incredible to see. And it doesn't have to be on a platform. It doesn't have to be singing. It doesn't have to be, you know, some of our watchers, listeners have children also that are doing different things, you know, in the kingdom of God, and that's wonderful too. But it's just a wonderful thing to see, you know. It's more than just something that you do, more than just something that, you know, is a vocation.
Yeah.
It's a calling.
Yeah.
You know?
And the girls are, I mean, we work as a team.
Yeah.
You know, and especially since they've got older, it helps me, like in our altar services, I get to go down and pray with people, and I tell them, "You take it," and so they sing now,
Yeah.
and they, you know, they take over and they do that, and then one of our other ministries, I don't know if we have a second to mention about our Wednesday night live.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wednesday Night Live, every Wednesday night, 10:30 Central Time. We started one night, we came home after church, we were home, and let's just do a couple songs around the piano, go on Wednesday night, go on Facebook Live. And, 30 minutes maybe. Well, it turned into 2 hours.
Ooh.
Yes.
And it's just like more people kept coming on, more needs, pray for this, pray for that. And, it's just like, where do you stop? Because there's so much, know. And just briefly, we've seen so many wonderful things. Had a woman come on one night and said, I'm in a real dark place. I need prayer. She was suicidal. And I said, where are you at? Where do you live? She said, I live in Abilene, Texas. We had never sung in Abilene, but we were scheduled there to sing in a couple weeks from then. I said, we're scheduled to sing there in a couple weeks. I said, why don't you come out and work for services? We gave her the address. She said, I live across the street from that church.
We were like, wow.
So, we knew
God's
it
up
was
to
a God
something.
thing.
Yeah.
And so we connected them with the pastor. They made connections there, and she was there. And I had the privilege of baptizing her. She received the Holy Spirit before that weekend was over. And, my life just totally changed because
so
of
cool.
Wednesday Night Live. So we do it every Wednesday night now.
Well, and that's one of the things that I mean, you all watch on Facebook or YouTube, so you know that I enjoy the social media platform, the video platform type of thing. I love it. I invest my time, I invest my money, I invest a lot into those platforms because I believe in being able to get your message out using those platforms. Facebook Live is one of those things that people are starting to now embrace, but haven't for so long. And it's one of those things that can be so valuable and instrumental in helping you, in business terms, grow your brand, but also, like you just mentioned, in helping people. You never know who's going to be scrolling through Facebook, whose friend happened to share or comment on
We've had
or
people
like
from all
something
over
else.
the world.
You just never know.
Yeah,
So that's
exactly.
a great tool for people to use. And in my opinion, if people aren't using it, they're missing out on an opportunity in a lot of different ways.
Yes, they
I know it can take some time, it takes some effort, a little bit of planning.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, it's worth it, I think.
And our vision with it is the ministry side of things.
Yeah.
Yes, it will help to grow our brand. Yes, it will help to, introduce us to people that we never would have been able to be introduced to.
Yeah.
But it's about the ministry because we feel like if we can minister to people, God will take care of the rest.
Yeah. So at the end of this, they're going to the girls are going to tell you where to connect with them and everything. You got to go to their Facebook page, hit like, and then watch some of their live videos because I think you'll enjoy it because what you're talking about right there, it seems like it's a great program. So, hey guys, we're going to take just a moment. We're going to transition. We're going to let the daughters come and sit down and we're going to ask them a few questions. And we are back with our interview with the Chandlers. We were just talking to Mom and Dad. They were sharing a lot about the ministry that you guys are a part of, everything you have going on. And I'm going to get to some of the submitted questions with you guys. So thank you for being here with me. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Stan Easley would like to know, what is your most favorite place to visit?
Probably for me, that would either be Texas or Indiana.
Okay, those are two totally.
Yeah,
you must have people there that you know or that you
Well-
like really well because they're not the same.
Yeah. Well, Lindsay was born in Texas,
Yeah.
and we lived there for about 5 years, and so we have strong connections in Texas. And I was born in Indiana, and I went to college in Indiana, so I have strong connections in Indiana.
Gotcha.
So either one of those, I'm totally fine with.
See, because I'm from Indiana.
Okay.
Originally, I was there for 20 some years, graduated college and everything there. So when you said Texas and Indiana, and I've been to Texas a lot now, traveling and singing, I'm like, okay, hold up. There's got to be a personal connection to these two because they are total opposite.
Very different.
I love Indiana because you can sit in the car and fall asleep driving, and you just keep going straight down that road, and you're good to go. Texas is, I mean, we got some bumps, we got a bunch of stuff going on.
Yeah.
What about you? Favorite place to visit?
I would have to say probably Texas.
Okay.
Because I was born there and so have a lot of friends there and stuff. So probably Texas, definitely.
Holly Bowman has our next question for you guys. Thank you for your question, Holly. What is the most requested song for the Chandlers? You go into a church, you've been there before, the people come up, we love your music, we're so glad you're here. We want to hear
He Will Come Through. That is a song that my mom wrote off of the Chandler's first CD when it was just mom and dad. So the title of the CD is He Will Come Through, Tim and Lana Chandler. But that has been a very special song for our ministry, and it's helped a lot of people get through their situations. So He Will Come Through.
You going for the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same one.
Seems like that's a good one.
Yes.
Y'all got to go check out that song, because if that's the most requested, you're probably going to love it. Okay, just imagine with me for a second. I'm hanging out with y'all on a Tuesday, just a random Tuesday. What in the world are we doing? I mean, we're home, most likely. We're not on the road. We made it back home. It's Tuesday. You got home Monday or late Sunday night. It's Tuesday. What are we doing?
I would say for me, you'd probably be working on school with me. I'm homeschooled.
Okay.
So I'd either be doing school, or when I'm home, I typically will go on a walk or something just to get fresh air and get out. So
Okay.
that's what a Tuesday would look like for me.
Tuesday, yes, usually we get home late Monday night. Tuesdays are kind of our recharging days.
Okay.
Getting in from the road, unpacking, and working on stuff that needs to be taken care of at the house. And my mom has a clothing business on the side that she does, and sometimes she does live videos. We were talking about live videos
Okay.
earlier, and I help with the digital computer side of that, and we do live videos.
So tell them the site for the clothing so they can go check it out.
The site is called Lana's Sweet By and By, B-U-Y. And my grandfather gave her that idea because of the singing side, the Sweet By and By. And
Yeah.
so Lana'sSweetByandBy.com.
Okay. And what can they expect to find there?
You can find vests, dresses, clothing for the ladies, and sometimes my mom, she'll get a good deal or find some very unique stuff that she only does on the live videos. So she does those on Tuesdays and Thursdays usually, and just check that out.
Okay. 5 years from now, what is something that is popular right now that you think will be totally ridiculous? And you guys are, I mean, you're younger, so you should be in kind of the trend, know kind of some of the trends and things that's going on. Something you think, man, in 5 years, that is going to be ridiculous.
2023.
That's scary to think about.
I know, right?
It's so far away. I don't even know.
Probably like stuff people post on Instagram. I don't know. I have an Instagram, and
Yeah.
some of my friends post crazy stuff like GIFs or memes. Like, I don't even know how to say it right. And probably those will go out of style within
Yeah.
5 years.
I see those going out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe a social platform or
Yeah.
something like that would be
Yeah.
something new will come along. And we'll,
Yeah.
like when Facebook started, I was in college, and you had to be in college to be on Facebook. And then they made it public where anybody can be on. So like at the beginning of Facebook, you had to have an email address to create an account that had your college in the email address, because it was only open for certain colleges. And as they expanded and said, no, this college can, this college can, this college, and then finally they just said anybody can, right? So Facebook is still around, but then you had MySpace. MySpace came and went. I mean, it was like 5 years, and MySpace,
Right.
everyone was like, MySpace, and then they're like, what's MySpace?
Yeah. Right.
So probably something social. I think you're onto
Yeah.
something there.
Maybe something.
Guys, where can all these folks watching this program today, where can they catch up with the Chandlers?
You can find us at thechandlers.com. We have thechandlersmusic.com.
Okay.
Yes.
Mom's helping out over
My,
there. She's
my
like,
apologies.
We should know
We
this.
should know
okay?
this.
here, guys, you can find them at thechandlersmusic.com. You can go to Facebook,
even know.
Instagram. You can
Yes.
find them. Type in the Chandlers.
social media.
Hit the like button.
Yes.
Yes. Just look up the Chandler's page on Facebook. We do live videos
go.
from the road. We do a lot of live videos. Mom does Walmart
Crazy.
videos. She's crazy. You need to watch
The
it.
People of Walmart videos with the Chandlers. Go
Yes.
check that out. I got to close this thing out, but with something fun, okay? So if you've watched any of the interviews in the past, I would do the Fouch Zone, right? But we're not going to do the Fouch Zone.
Okay.
This year, we're not doing Fouch Zone, but we're doing this or that, okay? So very easy, but we're just going to see how close y'all really are on what y'all like.
Oh,
Okay.
dear.
And we don't know
Okay.
if you're polar opposites or if you're in the same vein. Okay, but we're gonna find out.
Okay.
Digital or analog? Now that may be something y'all are like, what? What are you talking about? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Kind of. I couldn't explain it, but kind of.
Yeah.
Mom and Dad are like,
I know.
Digital.
Digital.
okay, good choice. Speaking of social media, Facebook or Twitter?
Facebook.
Okay, so far we're on the same path here. Snow White or Cinderella?
Cinderella.
Okay. Comedy or drama?
You first.
Comedy.
Drama.
I'm glad we found one that y'all are separate on.
Yeah.
We got comedy and drama. So favorite comedy movie then? So while she's answering, you get a chance to think.
Shoot.
I mean, it's not really movies, but like as far my favorite like comedy like duos maybe. Like, can I do
Sure.
that? Okay.
Favorite comedy.
I
Let's just
think
do-
like Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis
Okay.
are like my favorite comedy people. So.
Okay. Favorite drama?
I don't know if it's a drama. It's definitely a sad movie on Netflix. It was called The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. That movie. It was about a boy in the World War II. It's a sad movie.
Oh.
It's,
We're going to end on a sad note tonight. I'm kidding. Guys, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you for your time here at NQC. Thank you for being part of On the Couch with Fouch. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this interview. If you would, go check out the Chandlers, watch the live videos, go to the site, catch a concert when they are in your area. And we're going to close this thing out with an a cappella number by the Chandlers. I hope you guys enjoy.
Softly and tenderly, Jesus is calling, calling for you and for me. See on the portals, he's waiting and watching, watching for you and for me. Come home, come home, come home. Ye who are weary, come home, come home. Earnestly, tenderly, Jesus is calling. Ooh, calling, oh sinner, come home, come home. Oh, for the one